All right, guys, welcome to episode 5.
Five,
Five. Yeah, I messed it up the last time. Episode 5 of Comedy Corner, and with us tonight. And thank you very much for inviting us to your humble abode, Gary Moulds.
Thank you very much for
How are
having
you?
me.
No problem at all.
I am great.
Good lad. You're looking pretty fine.
Thank you very much.
If I do
Same
say
yourself.
So. Thanks very much. Put on a wee bit of beer belly over Christmas, but sure.
Didn't even notice.
He'll get it off.
I will get it
I've
off.
been on him about it.
I'm a personal trainer here.
I'll soon get him down to this gym.
Yeah, exactly. Look how close this is to you.
I know, that's true.
Literally stone through.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You've no excuse, like.
What
no
are you
excuses.
doing to me? Don't listen to him. He'll be alright.
He's been stalling.
And yes, new neighbour.
New neighbour.
Welcome
Yes.
to the mountain.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank
We'll be
you.
over torching you and
Oh, aye.
whatever.
I'm welcome for it.
get a couple of beers. Although
Absolutely.
you're off the beers and all now and heavy training and
Heavy training, off the beers.
yeah.
I haven't even... Can't even mind the last time I did have a drink. It was Christmas. It's
Uh-huh.
Christmas now. There you are. Dry January.
well,
Easy work.
There you go. Flip's sake.
Easy work.
Absolutely dedicated.
That's
Of course, you're racing in the Sidecar Cross. Did I get that right? Sidecar
Yes.
Cross World Championships.
Yes. 2018 we done 2 rounds. 2019 we tried for a full World Championship, and then obviously COVID came, and then we've sort of dabbled in and out of it ever
Mhm.
since again.
Yeah.
But just because of injuries and that, what have you, we haven't quite made the full Grand Prix season just yet.
Oh, right. I
So,
seen you sort of working in and out of it and stuff. Yourself and Nicky, and are you? That's the plan, but is to get fully back into it, or
So my dream has always been to race a full World Championship.
Mhm.
And obviously I haven't got doing that yet, so never say never. At the minute it's not looking too great, but we'll have to see how we go here over the next sort of few months and see
yeah,
how the injuries play out.
just life getting in the way
Yes, that's
a
it.
wee bit.
Old age.
Old age, and building houses, and
Aye,
settling.
all that there.
We came down here, and hope you don't mind that we're
We're
actually
away.
Gary is actually living in a caravan at the minute, but yeah,
Some
and
setup.
funny enough, Andy's a tarmacker, so
Say no more.
so nobody is. He's building a mansion of a house out there. It's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. See, to be
looking
honest with you, I never thought, because obviously with you traveling the world and doing what you do, and you're so committed to it, I thought you were a bum. I actually
I
did.
was just living the pro life.
Just living professional
Far from
sidecar
it.
cross.
Far from it. I am literally working every hour
Yeah.
under the sun to try and make it happen.
What is it with sidecar boys and tarmacking? Because of
Oh.
course the Ingrams, you know the Ingrams.
Yep, Jeff Ingram,
Jeff tarmacking as well.
big
and-
sidecar man.
yeah,
They love it.
it's good training, I suppose.
Oh,
is it,
aye,
for the
that's
top
it.
half.
Heavy work. That's exactly it.
That's sick. No, but as some spot you have here with the gym, and
Thank you.
just obviously you're working through. I've seen a load of posts on social media, working through your injuries with the ice baths and the saunas, and I don't know how you do it. I was out. We had a wee tour.
Yeah, he's got the full setup, ice bath, sauna, and the gym here, so it's
Yeah.
a lot more than what Gareth ever did whenever he was racing anyway.
You're bloody right.
We're
I
well
cycled
kitted up.
cycled down past this road a couple of times, but that was
Yeah.
about it. And the ice bath at what was it, 1 degrees, 1.2 degrees, I seen on the thermos, and you jump in that.
Yep,
Every
every
day.
morning.
You're mental, mate.
Every morning.
Good way to wake up.
That's exactly it.
Gets the blood
There's
pumping.
no better start of the day.
So you actually jump out of bed straight into that.
Yep. It is, some mornings it's tough. Like, see if you don't go to bed early enough, it really messes your head
Yeah.
up in the morning. Like, but 9:30.
Yeah, straight in.
Mhm. No, 9:30 at night.
Oh,
Sleeping.
half 9 and 8.
Oh, aye.
Flip's sake.
I'm a bore bag. Like,
Your,
yeah.
your body, you're like the pinnacle. Your body is your temple.
That's it.
Isn't
And,
it?
well, that's what I've really tried to work on, to
Mhm.
focusing on trying to just to heal my body,
Mhm.
because I've been very hard on it over the years.
Yeah.
Sort of neglected obviously my back. I've neglected it and everything else, and it caught up with me eventually.
Talk us
So
through your
that-
injuries a wee bit, because you were in a bad way, weren't you? And you've missed a lot of racing last year.
Yeah, so basically, we were getting prepared for a full world season, and I had a few wee niggles the year before, and in 2022, near the end of 22. I had a few niggles in my back. And I've always sort of had back problems just with I'm quite tall.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like 6'3", so I've always had sort of back problems, and I've always sort of just brushed under the carpet and tried to get on with it. And near the end of 22, I trapped a nerve in my back, and literally 2 weeks before a Grand Prix, and like I could hardly get out of bed. I was on my hands and knees. I missed work and everything, and that was a first. Like usually I could just sort of get along with it, and still make my day-to-day happen. So that was a first at the end of 22, and then eventually made it to the Grand Prix, went to the Nations, and it was giving me jip the whole time. So plenty of rest over the off-season, thinking this is going to be grand for next year. New bike and all, ready to go. Spoke to you at the motorbike show. That's the last time we spoke.
At the Econ Centre.
Yep, Econ Centre with a new bike and all, ready to go, big season. And basically went to the first round in Spain, and qualifying day went pretty good. I don't know, you wouldn't be familiar with Talavera in Spain.
Sounds sunny, but
it's very hot to ride. But basically there's 3 big tabletops, and one of them was a very heavy landing, and I could feel it through my back whenever we were landing every time, and I sort of thought to myself, like, that's not good, like, this early on, getting that shock up through. And after just after having them problems at the end of 22, I sort of thought that I was going to be all right again. I wasn't. And the next day, qualified for the Grand Prix, next day, off the start in the first race, and got a really, really good start. We're coming into the corner pretty much third, and the team in second place were pushed wide.
Right.
And they just took the front clean off us, and we ended up in a pile. And that's what done the damage. I think that was it.
That just finished it off.
Yeah.
And did the bike land on you, like, or
I was on the bike, and it just rolled straight over the top of me. So I was underneath it, like, and it drove me straight into the ground. And it was just a pile of events leading up to that, and that was it.
That just finished you off.
That finished me off, and I herniated my bottom 2 discs. So I did. I think it's L4, L5, L5S1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a good way.
Flip's sake. Well, what happened after then? How did you end up in hospital after that crash? And
so hobbled about. We had actually round 2 in Portugal the week after, so we had planned to stay the full week, hotel and all booked.
Yeah.
So stayed out for the week. And it was grim. Like, honestly, at the start of the week, I nearly came good at one stage, and then it just started getting really bad, like flaring up.
Yeah.
And like I was struggling to walk.
Flip's
so I was.
And you stayed out there for the week, in the thoughts of getting out,
riding again
that weekend.
Yep. And like, I have an English passenger. That's the thing about Sidecar Cross. You have a passenger.
Yeah.
And it's a two-man effort.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult. Like, this has happened for years, just time and time again, where you're always in a position, whether it's the passenger or the rider, you're injured, but you don't want to let your teammate down.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're in the position where you have to try anyway, no matter what, for your teammate. So we
pros and cons with that too, and they're like,
obviously, big time. But we proceeded to try and ride at the Portugal Grand Prix, and I couldn't even stand up straight on the bike.
You actually got on the bike?
I got on the bike and tried to ride it. I couldn't even stand up straight.
Flip's sake.
So I couldn't, and it was awful.
Oh.
I was absolutely devastated. I couldn't believe it.
I'm sure you were.
Did you think you just like torn a muscle or something at the time?
Literally, like I had like a physio working at me, sports massage.
Yeah.
I even, like, this is how much pain I was in. Like, you're in a foreign country, and I went to the medical people, and they took a look at me, and they're like, "Do you want an injection?" I was like, "Yeah, just whatever." Like, and I would not be down for that at all.
I know,
usually.
Just numb me, baby, right now.
Literally, just anything. And they stuck this big needle into me. It's this day, I don't even know where it was cortisone or what it was. I don't know.
Big horse tranquilizer.
Literally just this big needle and
Yeah.
put it into me,
That's
just to
sick.
try and ease this pain, and it didn't help. Like
No, it didn't.
no, but
At
I
all?
literally felt that needle hitting somewhere in there. Like
Oh,
It's like, what do you call that needle? Oh, I'm gonna get a stick for this. Pregnant women get the epidural, is it?
Yeah.
Something like
yeah,
that.
that's what it was.
My back's still sore, but I
It was
can't
rough.
feel my legs.
literally, like it was rough. Like
Oh, and that was really one of the last races that you did then.
literally, yeah. So came home from there, worst flight of my life. Trying to come home from that, I couldn't even sit still
Yeah.
in that flight. Couldn't get comfortable. But we took a month off,
Mhm.
and the first round of the British was coming up, and I was like, again, you're in the position,
Yeah,
have to try.
Yeah.
And I knew I wasn't 100%. I was still getting real bad sensations down my legs and all,
Mhm.
and a lot of nerve pain. But we ended up going to the first round, and it wasn't good again.
Oh,
Didn't even
fucks.
do the last race, and that's first for me. Like we always finish the race, and
And of course, is it a team that you ride for, or your
just our
sort
own
of
team
private-
within ourselves. Yeah, So
sort
it
of
is.
private setup?
I just with personal sponsors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Aye. Is there any? Well, of course, being a private team, you're near more inclined. You don't want to let yourself down either.
Don't want to let
it's
yourself
a lot
down.
more
And then
hard work.
it's very like personal too. Like anyone helping us are all just normal people. You know,
Yeah, just 9 to 5.
you literally and like so there's on a race weekend there's probably like 8 to 10 of us away.
Mhm.
So you're Joe. I know it's not that much, but at the same time,
Yeah.
they're there to see you race.
Yeah.
You put the pressure on yourself.
Yeah,
like,
and like see just letting everybody down, like
Yeah.
it sucks. Like,
Because they work hard at it.
yeah,
and
that's exactly it. So everybody
Yeah.
puts a lot of effort in to make it happen.
Yeah.
And to not even get racing properly is just.
yeah. Even if you can't be bothered some weekends, you're like, there's something I have to do. Like,
Aye,
it's-
well, thankfully, I've never really been in the position where I can't be bothered. You know,
Right.
I just.
I suppose you're still a pup. You're still young. So.
I love it. I do honestly. I
Yeah,
love it,
yeah.
and I've missed it a lot there this year.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah. You've been racing. How long have you been racing sidecars now?
I started racing in 2011.
Yeah.
We were too young. We're actually only 15. So
This seems to be an ongoing
a
story.
running theme with everybody so
Yeah,
far.
Everyone's faking birth certificates and all, paying off midways.
thankfully we got ours done the proper way and got the rules changed to allow for a 250.
Jesus Christ, you went right to the board.
Well, to be fair, it was a lot of other people done it for me. I wouldn't have had a clue.
Yeah.
Like,
Really? Yeah.
but
And
so
had you done like the is there like junior legs before?
there's
Or
not-
like, there's
nothing like
nothing,
that. Apart
no.
from in Holland, there's kids
Right.
in sidecars, and that's
Mhm.
why there's so many Dutch champions.
Right, yeah.
Go over there, it's a lot bigger than what it is here,
Yeah.
and so they're racing from they can walk like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, aye.
On sidecars.
Yeah.
It is quite even within motorsport, like it's quite a niche thing. Like,
Yeah.
how did you get into it, or what made you start?
So my dad, he raced sidecars years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was probably like the 80s.
Yes.
Well,
Well, the photos are in black and white, so probably the 80s.
Dinosaur age.
Oh, Christ.
But yeah, so like he was 3-time Irish champion
Mhm.
on his day, like, and just basically whenever I was growing up, there wasn't actually any sidecars here.
Mhm.
It died off,
Yeah.
so they had, and then they didn't come back to like 2008,
Right?
Mhm.
and I think my first race, it probably was in around 2008. I went and watched, I think the British sidecars maybe came to Desert Morton in
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
And I remember going and watching it. I was more interested in the quads.
Oh,
I had a
right.
wee like
Yeah.
LT80 or something
yeah.
myself, like, so I was more interested in the quads at the time. But just looking at pictures of my dad and stuff over the years,
Mhm.
you just sort of say, "Oh, I'd love to try that
Yeah.
someday," And it whenever so the sidecars would come back, and then we're starting to go to watch the races and stuff. But I got a Suzuki 125. That was my first ever proper bike.
Yeah.
Before that was only an LT50 and LT80
Yeah.
that I'd completely outgrown
Ah,
for
yeah.
years.
The elbows round.
literally.
7 foot, 16-year-old.
Shocking, absolutely shocking. So at 13, I got a 125 Suzuki and started like literally. I am not naturally talented, like rider at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll put it out there, not one bit.
That's why he's went for 3 wheels.
I had to,
Yeah.
literally. So it took me like 2 months to learn how to let a clutch out
Right?
before I even started changing gears.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I could not keep this thing upright. I would say easily went through 10 clutch and brake levers
Oh my word.
without a doubt. Cooped her all the time.
Just dropping.
Shocking, absolutely shocking. It was that bad. There was one day we broke a clutch lever. I was out in the back field behind my mum and dad's house,
Uh-huh.
and I broke clutch lever, and I had no idea you could even bump a bike. So my dad, Joe, bumped me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on this bike by myself, no clutch lever.
Mhm.
Hadn't a clue what just happened. I'm like, I have no clutch lever. Like, how did this bike?
And you're away?
I'm away. So I'm heading back to the house, and we've like this gateway into the back field, and it's only literally like just wide enough to get the bike through. And here's me rocking up to it going, I have no idea what I'm going to do here.
You can't even stop it.
I didn't even know to tramp on the back brake to stall it. Didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
Yeah.
And I just went flying straight into the wall. Honest to goodness, smashed the whole front over the bits.
Oh my
Me
word.
laying my arse going, what has just happened? Couldn't believe it. Yellow Suzuki fender everywhere. Couldn't believe
Oh my word.
it. So like, that's why I have a sidecar.
Yeah. At least you've got something to lean on.
Literally, like, I
so you don't
couldn't-
fall over.
I still to this day can't ride a solo.
Seriously?
I'm hopeless.
No.
Hopeless.
My word.
Couldn't ride it here.
Suppose that would put the shit up you anyway.
Yeah.
Riding into the side of your house.
Literally.
Keep the stabilizers on with the
I was
sidecar.
I was
suppose.
absolutely hopeless on it.
Yeah.
Sick.
So, but Joe, it all adds into like a whole journey because of that solo, I then was out practicing one day, and Lloyd Ruddle and Paul Beatty were out practicing.
Yep.
And Neil Campbell and Ross Graham, and like this was their sort of first day out.
Right.
And I had the wee Suzuki, and we were riding around this party field, and me and my sister actually got a ride on Lloyd's sidecar.
Yeah.
So it did, and we absolutely loved it, the two of us.
Uh-huh.
So it did. So, yeah. So that was my first time out, and then the second time I actually sold the wee 125.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully, Lloyd or Beatty didn't blow it up because they took it out and rode that thing like I had never
Just
seen before.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was standing there with my jaw on the ground like.
Jesus, just
So-
every gear. Just,
She got the cobwebs blew out of her after me
That's-
took her in about in second. So she did, but
plugs all oiled up.
he near set her on fire.
Yeah.
The pipe had, we're in Barley Stall field, and
It was roaring red.
it had flipping straw stuck around the exhaust, and
Brilliant.
I think it was Lloyd was riding it, and Beatty was waving him down. The pipe was fire. No, it's not
Class.
lies. But yeah, that was my first day, and then I ended up sold the 125,
Mhm.
and another friend said, "I'll take you out. We run the sidecar here." And I
Yeah.
went, "Happy days! I'm all over this because
Yeah.
I'm in sort of limbo between buying another motocross bike. I really wanted the twin pipe Honda
Oh, yes.
250. They were
Nice.
class back
Yeah,
then.
They
Like,
were. They're fucking far too pricey, but
oh, and like it was between that and getting a sidecar, and obviously I was too young anyway for a sidecar, so I was leaning more towards the Honda. But
yeah.
I rode my friend's sidecar, and I had rested my foot on his back brake the whole time we were riding, and I completely set his back brake on fire.
No
like
way.
literally grabbing dirt and throwing it up over this back brake, set her completely on fire.
Did you mean to, or
No, it's just a Hallion. I'm just
you just didn't know, or
didn't know.
yeah, or so I can rest my foot on this.
I was useless at riding bikes. So this is what year is this here? 2009.
Yeah,
So
that wasn't even that long ago. Like,
It was long. Well, it's long enough ago.
it was
Like,
long enough. Oh, well,
it's 24
I suppose.
now. Like,
What?
it's 24
Oh,
now.
hard to
Jesus
believe.
Christ, right enough.
Getting old.
That's like I was saying earlier. You know, you've kids
Looks
and
about 35.
I don't look
Piss
like.
33. Oh,
Threw him off.
you have threw me off
Yeah,
now. I'm
I
starting to
was
sweat
gonna
now.
say
This
something.
bloody log burners. Look at the fans facing my way. Oh my word. I'm melting here.
Aye, so whenever you did actually get racing, then once they changed the age rules and all, what's the crack with the passengers then? Have you like had the same passenger for a long time, or
So originally me and Shane Taylor, we were just friends in school,
Yeah.
best mates in school, and I actually took him out on one of my other best mates as well at the time, and I was like round Blur. You ever at Blur, were you?
Blurs, oh, aye, yeah.
I think everybody's been to Blurs at some
Yeah.
stage. Like that's where everybody used to ride. But yeah, I was basically doing a lap at a time with each of them because
Yeah.
passenger literally pulls the arms clean out of you. Like
Oh, aye, yeah.
so, I was doing a lap at a time with each of them, and Shane liked it do more. So me and him ended up racing then together.
Mhm.
In 2011 then that was
Yeah.
our first year racing.
Right.
Well, actually, my dad bought a Soulsby Suzuki. Between me and my dad, then with the money of the Suzuki, we bought our first sidecar. Me and Shane were only 14, so we're really too young then.
Yeah.
Joe couldn't
Yeah.
have raced.
Yeah.
But I might even mind the first day we got this thing home. Like my dad, like couldn't get this thing started. 525 KTM and kicked that. Eventually got this thing started, and my dad just revved the bag out of it. As if it was like clearing this 2-stroke out or something.
Clearing the plugs or something, aye.
Flipping pipe was roaring red. The one thing was about to blow up. Not wise.
So, that was a 525 KTM, big
525.
single cylinder.
Mm-hmm. That was our first sidecar at 14.
And is that like? Is there no classes like 250s?
So then that whenever we established then after that we couldn't ride that big till we're 16.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, right, we need to. Actually, I think it was 450 whenever you're 16. Actually,
Oh, right.
so we couldn't even ride that bike for a right while. So my sister ended up she raced that there then that year.
Right.
Yeah.
So she did. She got into it. And then finally we got a bike then for me and Shane to ride then the next year. And me and my dad spent must have been every night for about 2 months working at this bike, this 250 to try and get her ready.
Yeah.
So
Bro.
Unreal.
And your first outing on that then?
First outing on that. Whereabouts was that?
Eye
Desmond Martin.
Eye opener. Oh
Desmond
my
Martin.
word.
Ah,
What
Gary
a place to go for your first race.
Gary Moulds never over a start getting his life.
Oh my word. Jesus. In that
Desmond-
first ride Honda.
Desmond Martin, in that right hand. I remember too. We were young and dumb and you know the rest, but
Yeah, full of fun.
full of
Full
fun.
of fun.
And we were drinking these Red Bulls, thinking we're cool as like. And
Facing out the Red Bull now.
I remember how like shaken I was in the start, and I was just going like, "What is happening here?" Like I've never faced the like, "What do? This is my first ever race, and I'm bunging these Red Bulls in like, flat out." And getting completely pumped for the race, like, but
Just trying to get the whole shot.
straight away off the bat,
I'm sick.
some crack. We done some crashing that year too and smashing. Like, I never rode on a bike in the track or anything.
Yeah.
So
And how many would have been on the grid?
there was about 10 back then.
10?
Aye, so it wasn't too bad. Like,
That's probably the equivalent of what, 30
I
singles?
to be fair, 15's the equivalent to 30 singles. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I'm sick.
So we weren't
Right.
far. Like some races, there nearly was 15 sidecars at times. Like it sort of ranged between 12, 10. Sometimes you get the extra ones out too. Which was quite good. Like, but yeah, that first year was definitely a learning experience.
I'm sure it
for
was.
the two of us because neither of us had ever raced. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know there was actually, like, you can get 450s and... Because you can get, like, 700s and all, can't
so
you?
yeah, so basically over the years we worked up. My dad just sort of because I was a bit wild, he sort of kept me limited throughout the years of just like giving me like a 450 the next year, and it was a 525, and that was a 540, and
Just climbing you up.
very gradually, and
Yeah.
it was like 570, 590.
Yeah.
To the point where we did eventually get in 2016 was the first year I had a full 665 that was competitive then.
I'm sick.
Because Neil Campbell, he was on a 702 stroke from he got that back in he was on a 630 Husaberg anyway, so he was always on a quick bike, and then he got a 702 stroke in 2013. And then I struggled then to keep with him, you know, because he's our main competition, you know, over here, and like him and Ross had pulled that gap a wee bit in 2013, and I really struggled then for a few years, and I think I was trying too hard as well at times, just because of the under par, you know. And
that's what I was going to say. Like, if you have a slower machine, you push yourself harder to try and
too hard.
Yeah, just to try and stay, and then that's when you make accidents and you hurt yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
Forcing stuff.
As so many silly crashes in them first few years, like, and over jumping jumps, and
But then your dad's probably thinking the same as our dad, and this is a real it's like something out of a movie. You probably did get out of a movie right enough, but if you can ride a slow bike fast, what are you going to be like when you're on a fast bike?
Yes, and that's right. And maybe that did play its part,
Yeah.
throughout the years. Whenever I finally did get the faster bike, I was
Yeah.
a lot better on it. Like, but
Yeah, it came more easier for
I
you.
did
nearly.
alright. But just in the process leading up to that, I wrecked myself so many times. Like,
You were just fucking
shocking.
plowing yourself in the side
Aye,
houses.
well, like, and see the amount of seasons I ruined as well. Just being young and not experienced.
Yeah.
Pushing really hard the few weeks before the first race, but
Mhm.
thinking that you're going to gain something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and literally getting minced.
Just
like,
not
I've done
getting
my
anywhere at all.
collarbone and dislocated shoulder, and I dislocated my kneecap, and stuff like that right
Yeah.
before the season starts. Like, I think I ruined about 3 or 4 seasons right before, like literally weeks before it started.
Seriously.
Like, just going out and being an idiot.
And you never learn. And
Well, I think I've learnt now,
yeah,
you don't win any races practicing. Like,
or sitting injured or flipping.
no, definitely not. Like, and there's nothing worse, yourself, was like watching
Oh.
people race, like, and you're sitting there banged up,
Yeah.
can't race. Like, it's nothing.
Sickening.
Sickening, absolutely
I
sickening.
remember seeing you at the Temple, the World Championship event. The
Yes.
first one over here since when? 20 years? No.
Aye, something like that.
Something like that,
We'll
no.
go with that.
Aye, yeah, it sounds good. Yeah.
I think it was like Johnstown or something. All the old hands know the date.
Aye,
and
they
I
all
can't,
know
I can't,
everything
can't
about it.
remember. Like, it was
Aye.
probably in the 80s.
It was Kenny Gardner told me
Yes.
everything about it. And,
Yes.
yeah, invited me up and all, and I've seen it on TV, and I watched a few races, in Germany or wherever, and
Yeah.
and the first sidecar I ever seen, I didn't know they existed. Obviously, the track sidecars, with the tarmac,
Yes.
but no sod busters, like,
Oh, aye.
and I went to, was it Evans on the Moyer Road?
Aye, huge.
I went and I think I was dropping a car off. I was working in a car dealership close enough to it, and I was dropping a car off, and he says, "Oh, you're young Keys, no, come on in and show you this." And this massive thing taking up the whole size of the garage, and you're like, and he's like, "What the hell is that?" It's a sidecar, like.
Yeah.
And he was looking at me like a two heads because I
You'd
didn't know.
you'd never seen one
No,
before.
and he started this thing up, Neil. Oh my word!
Monster.
You want it? I thought the ceiling was going to come in around us.
Class.
Unbelievable.
Was it a classic one at the time?
No,
No, this was
this
just a
thing-
modern one. Yeah.
it
Very
was
good. Brilliant.
mint, and I was just mesmerized. I think I was about an hour and a half late back to work because I was
Talking
just
about sidecars.
yeah, and looking at the welds and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't just go and buy one of them things, so you can't
So
out of the shop.
you have manufacturers over in Holland.
Right.
They make the frame,
Yeah.
and then you basically can use any engine you want.
Right,
Just you
okay.
tell them what engine you're going to put in, and they'll put the mounts on it for
Yeah.
you.
So they're not all like so you couldn't build one in your garage, or does it have to be certified from like a manufacturer?
We always joke that they're like a garden gate.
Yeah.
But actually, see, my mechanic, Joe Richard Portis,
Mm-hmm.
he made his own sidecar one time. I think it was like out of a Micro or something. And like,
That's
but he's brilliant. Like, he can make anything, so he
Yeah.
can. He made his
Make
own
it out of a
sidecar.
box of cereal.
Years ago, like. So, but I wouldn't fancy it now. Like,
No.
I think the jumps we do now probably breaking too. Like,
I folding.
Yeah.
but all right.
Did you see your man in the Dakar? The video of your boy. Oh, he was on this old trials bike and he was going up over and the thing literally folded in two.
Did
He
not.
must have been doing 130 mile an hour. And he just landed this jump, over the dunes, and it just the whole front end came.
Your heart would be in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh my word. It was frightening.
Big time.
A good crack in the sidecar, but the Dakar,
Oh, the Dakar. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about the front end falling
No,
over.
not the front end. Oh, no.
It's actually happened to a few boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has it?
happened to the 2022 champion, Eddie and Bax.
Yeah.
At the first round, Talavera in 23, the
Yeah.
one that I got hurt at.
Uh-huh.
They had started using like a motocross fork. Our forks and sidecars slightly different.
They're real heavy things, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're just welded tubing, and then we have like two shocks either side. Rather than telescopic forks.
Yes, yeah.
So, but Eddie and Bax, he was probably getting paid for it, by WP or whatever, and they were riding, and the whole front full front of her over his hump, like completely went, and you could
Jesus
see his
Christ.
confidence was knocked the rest of the weekend. Like,
Why would they do that when everyone else uses, like, not so, that weird, I'm going to say weird setup.
yeah, I don't even know what the name of it is. Is it leading link or something? Money.
Yeah.
I'd say it was money.
So it's like
there's no other,
manufacturer.
I don't
of the
think there's
parts.
any other reason. Yeah.
But, like,
Well, that's backfired for the company that was paying
Yeah,
him.
like
Like,
I
your
don't
thing
think
explodes.
anybody else will try it now. Like,
No.
no.
Eventually, halfway through the season, he did. He got a new chassis made with the ordinary forks back in it.
Is that right?
Can't blame
Yeah.
him.
No.
Your heart would be in your mouth.
Yeah,
Like,
I
surely-
wouldn't trust it.
Surely that's been tried before.
How's I?
And
Yeah.
it
I
didn't
never
work.
materialized.
So
like,
if it didn't
no.
work, then why would you try it again?
Probably trying to
Apart from
evolve
the
the
money.
sport. He's probably trying
Yeah.
to evolve the sport, try and make it a wee bit cheaper.
Yeah. I
that
suppose,
sort of
well,
way.
frames have came on from years
Yeah.
ago and whatever, but obviously not came on
It's
enough.
too heavy.
It's too heavy.
Yeah.
It's far too me and my passenger, like Lewis, the both of us are 95, 90 kg each.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Plus the sidecar, like,
Yeah.
and a big bore
Aye,
4-stroke.
big flipping
It's
monster.
a lot of weight, like,
Yeah. Big generator underneath you too.
big
like.
generator,
Fuck's
landing
sake.
quarter of a ton.
Right enough. I would love to go on one, like.
That's thing get you out.
Did you? Oh, fuck, I don't know about that. I have to get down to 95 kilos or whatever you are.
Oh, aye.
No way. But your sister, you were saying that your sister raced. Did she ever team up? Was she ever passenger for you or?
There was one race we done. I think it was just for fun.
Yeah.
We fun race just with Seaford one day, and
Aye.
I passengered her, and then she jumped on then for the next one and passengered me. So
Right.
sure, it was a bit of fun. Like,
Would you passenger for her again?
no.
No.
See, to be fair, and I'll be completely honest, too fast.
Seriously?
I couldn't
Yeah.
hold on there,
Flip sick.
so I couldn't
Brilliant.
hold on there. She can go rightly.
Yeah. Fair
Oh, aye.
play.
No, I'm too long for passenger now.
Aye, right
Far
enough.
too tall, like.
Yeah. There's not an awful lot of room in them.
No,
Wait,
no,
aye, so
not
you're-
not for me. Anyway.
You're just like hunkered down, are you, when you're doing it?
You're actually on
Like
you're on your
squatting
feet.
type, or yeah.
It's not just the same as a circuit sidecar.
Yeah.
They're on their feet, and it's more the chair bar. You're sort of hovering over it the full
Right,
time, and
yeah.
I'm too long for that. Like,
Yeah. You're just too fucking lazy. That's
Aye,
what's wrong.
that's too much like hard work. Passenger.
Flip sick. You see the boys are on likes of the TT on the sidecars, and like, no way. I would never
No.
see driving. Yes,
At least you're in control then.
yeah, sort of.
But like going that fast and you're just like in a wee cockpit strapped to the pipe or whatever. Nah.
They're not even like their passengers they're not strapped. Like they're doing 130, 140 mile an hour
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
bouncing.
I'd actually like to ride one just to see what it's like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But never, you could not pay me enough money to sit inside that thing and
No
go
way.
around that island. Like,
no. You just see their heads bob baiting about. And
it's mad.
do you see the photos this year or last year? Sorry, of the passengers and the bruises on them. Proper, their legs were black.
They're
and
getting beat about.
Their arses and their arms broken. There was people coming in with broken ribs and spitting blood and everything.
It's mad. That's insane.
And they're smiling like, and
There
the
was
blood
what-
coming dripping down. This
Yeah.
is great.
It's mad.
Like, aye, mate.
There's actually a friend of ours. He used to race the motocross sidecars.
Uh-huh.
He does it now.
Yeah,
Harry Payne.
right.
And I'm nearly sure it was him was saying like they're coming around the track and they're just looking down, the way they're always their heads
Yeah.
is down, and they're just counting themselves from corner to corner. They're not even
Yeah.
looking where they're going. Like
They're-
he's counting seconds.
Oh, to
for
the
the lean out.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To move or to lift his head or
Like that is just a complete different
yeah.
Yeah.
gravy there. Like
They're
You have
just
to focus for so long there as well.
yeah. They're running blind basically, and they're that close to the bloody ground. At least if you're passenger for this Egypt, you can jump off whenever you
you can
want.
act- at least
Yeah.
at least you can see what you're gonna hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Right
Yeah.
enough. It's not going to be a surprise.
At least you can sort of half brace yourself.
Yeah. You're just like closing your eyes and praying there, aren't you? Like,
Yeah.
like
Big time.
That's sick. So, you saying how nuts you are? You've went through how many passengers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On our 5th.
Seriously, you're on
Mhm.
you're going well. Is that because you're moving teams, or what are you?
It's usually down to injuries.
And you fucking them off the side of the
Literally. Yeah, so I'm a thing. So I'd Shane, I'd Ben, I'd then Alan Gardner on. Alan, he done his knee at the end of 2016. And late, coming into the last round, that was penultimate round a week's going. Coming into the last round, then I needed a passenger. Alan was injured. So I put the feelers out, and Steve Kerwin, who is an Englishman, and he's like 20 years of high level sidecar cross racing experience, like, and for me to get him on was a big ask, but he done it for this last race, and it having Steve on was just, it was completely different level again, you know, because he's that much experience.
He knew what to do straight off.
Literally, and like me and Alan sort of went from that year. We struggled a wee bit just with fitness and stuff. Alan picked up an injury earlier that year. I'm pretty sure I probably picked up one too. But
just walking out the door.
Literally. But like the two of us had struggled a wee bit that year just with fitness and that. And so just whenever you miss a few races and don't have the bike time, you know, you're on the struggle bus, like. But getting Steve on at the end of that year, he really opened my eyes up to what we could do, because me and Alan were 5th to 10th place on average, and me and Steve would sort of the lap times for like 3rd in the British, and it sort of opened my eyes up a bit. And we got a new bike that winter, and me and Alan were supposed to go again in 2017, and our first and second ride out early that year, Alan was like, I'm struggling here with my knee still.
Right.
So,
same story. He didn't want to let you down.
He wanted to try.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to sack me off and leave me sort of stranded. He tried.
Yeah.
His knee still wasn't good, and ended up give Steve Kerwin the ring and got him signed up then for 2017. We had a real good solid pre-season. Plenty of bike time, all the rest of it, and like instead of just going out and riding, he was like training me. Like it just completely changed. So like before that, we were always just going out and just riding, trying to ride as hard as we can, not really putting that much thought into it at times. And like going up to this stage, like I'd probably never touched a suspension adjuster in my life.
Flips.
We just jumped on the thing and rode it like. Steve on the other end was complete technical. Suspension, bike, everything had to be sorted. And it completely changed my whole riding that winter. And basically, we went out in the 2017 season, I didn't really know what to expect. I sort of thought, right, we're in a good position here. And we went to the first round of the British Championship at Desert Martin. Love first round of British Desert Martin. That's perfect. Like, and I remember for the first time ever feeling a wee bit of pressure. Just basically, and seeing sidecar cross, it's very easy to sort of not blame each other, but put the pressure off myself onto the passenger.
That was your fault, you bastard.
It's very, very easy to do, and I had sort of lived my career just not really putting that much pressure on me.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, I have this legend on the side of me.
Oh, yeah.
And all the pressure's on me.
There's no one to blame.
You can't blame him.
Nobody to blame. Like, and I'm sitting there going, right, I really have to pull it out of the bag here today. Like, and I remember going out practice, and we got a brilliant run in practice. We ended up qualifying first, and like that was a big thing, like because I was average 5th to 10th in the British Championship, going out qualifying first, and everybody's sort of thinking, that was a bit fluky, you got a quick lap. And we ended up went out in the first race, and Neil Campbell, actually right before the first race, I remember sort of because I couldn't pass the pressure on my passenger.
I thought you were going to say breathalyzer there.
I remember actually saying to Neil before the race, I was like, some pressure on you today, just to sort of pass it off to me onto him. Shocking, absolutely shocking. Like,
take some of this, please.
Literally, so like,
I'm blowing out my hole here.
I'm passing it on to my competition the best I can. Like, and see, to be fair, Neil whole shotted, and I was second. And I was like, this couldn't have worked out any better.
Brilliant.
In my head, because I was like, this is perfect.
Tucking behind
me and Neil race all the time at home.
Yeah.
So we're probably halfway through the race, and I just started realising, I was like, Joe, I think I could pass him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think, Joe, literally, I could make this happen. And fancy, it was probably about halfway point, and we did pass him, and we won that first race. And
Holy shit.
we couldn't believe it.
Was there
Everybody,
anyone behind you then? When you were thinking,
yeah, so like,
I'm going to get past him before I
Yeah.
either get cleaned out or someone passes
Literally,
me and
yeah,
start
like-
going backwards.
so Stuart Brown, who's won like, there knows how many British championships, like, are in the double figures.
Yeah.
So he's like the British GOAT.
That's,
And him and Joe Millard were behind us, and so I had to make a move, or else they were going to make a move with me, and
Uh-huh.
we won that race. And going into the second race, like, that's a wee bit more pressure on me again, and I'm thinking to myself, what is happening here today? Like,
you have
and
to capitalise on that.
literally, but it gives you a boost of confidence too. And
Mhm.
went out in the second race, whole shot at it, and won it.
That's
So
sick.
at one stage, Brown actually passed us, and I think it was actually Jeff Ingram, just as you said
Yeah,
earlier on.
yeah.
Jeff Ingram, he was racing at the time, and he had stalled in the corner, and like, this was not pre-arranged whatsoever. But Brownie run into the back of him, and I passed. So I was in
That's
second
sick.
and passed for the lead again, and I won that race as well. Like, I mean,
we backhander there.
literally, yeah.
Jeff.
I think I still owe him that backhander, but I'll sort him out. But
Brilliant.
yeah, so me and Steve won the second race too, and then into the last race, we're leading it as well. And so this is just completely mad to me.
Yeah.
Steve said all along, he was like, yeah, I knew you could do it,
Mhm.
but this is the first ever time I'm getting a taste of what hard work and all the rest of it can do.
It's
Like,
sort of paying off then. Starting
Absolutely,
to pay
and-
off. And then the
and,
bike handling too as well. And
yeah, like, everything was just clicking. Everything was just going right. And in the last race, and we came around this corner, up full shot,
Uh-huh.
and there was a bike stuck right in the middle of the track, and I completely smashed my foot against them. It was actually my passenger now.
Yeah.
It was him back then, so it was.
That's
And
sick.
I smashed my right foot, and I don't know how many times I've smashed this right foot, because it's quite vulnerable, with
Yeah.
my sidecar's on the
Yeah.
left side, so the
right
right
enough.
foot's very
Aye.
vulnerable, to getting hit.
Yeah.
And every time, I must smash this right foot about 5 times, and it's never been broke, but you always think it's broke.
Yeah. It's on the
It's
verge.
always
of-
like ligaments and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
sore, like, and I thought to myself, I'll broke my foot. But we managed to cruise her home in third, I think, and we got the overall that day. And yeah, that was basically the start of heading for Grand Prix.
yeah.
So it was, yeah.
So, and were you picked up? Obviously, them results. That was your base, as you say. But were you picked up a team, or was it just? Do you have to be invited to a world championship, or
Not
kind of like
really.
me and Neil?
I think
Sort of rock up?
you would have to be racing within your federation, and they would have to like sign you off to be capable
Right,
enough to
yeah.
race.
Like MCI and Yeah.
They would have to sign you off to be capable to race at world championship level, and then you have to go and qualify. But
yeah,
actually that year I went and watched my first world round just to see what it was all about.
Yeah.
And get a bit of taste of it just to see. And we didn't race any world championship that year, but in 2018, we done 2 rounds. We done Switzerland and France.
yeah.
So I did.
You done pretty bloody well in Switzerland. You picked up points and all, didn't you?
Yeah. So in Switzerland, we were in the qualifying race. We're going quite well, and we're in a qualifying position. And
Mhm.
in the very last lap, we lost our chair wheel.
What?
Lost the chair wheel riding down the track. Next thing,
Jesus
there's a chair wheel bombing down past us, and us sliding down the track sideways.
No way.
Yeah, and the track in Rockenberg in Switzerland is mad. Like, you want to see these hills.
Yeah.
I think you clock like it's like, this is probably nothing to use, but like, I'm pretty sure somebody's like 70 odd mile an hour, which is pretty quick in motocross
On the
terms.
dirt,
Like,
yeah.
for you road boys, that's nothing. Like, but
That's just us taking over.
literally
I'm sick.
on
We-
the sighting lap.
We wake up in 70 mile an hour.
literally. But yeah, so it was a real fast track, and we lost the chair wheel in the last lap, but that put us in the last chance, and thankfully we won it.
Yeah.
So it did.
Jesus Christ.
The next day, obviously my first world championship, starting on the second row because we were in last chance, and we scored, I'm pretty sure we're 13th in the first race, which was world championship points up
Yep.
to 20th, so we were absolutely over the moon
That's
with that.
sick.
And then the second race, the silencer come off.
What?
We were scoring points again. I think we were in around 15th or something again. And the silencer come off, and we got noise tested and then penalised. Like, so we're just outside the points. But
No way.
the
But if your silencers came off during a race, surely that's all right then.
you
you're
get
right.
noise tested, you're
What?
I think they can actually black flag you if you're causing too much noise.
No way.
Aye.
What's the reasoning behind that? Like,
Just that we're always under noise regularly. Is the roads under noise as well? Or?
Roads aren't, no.
No?
Short circuits are.
Aye, yeah,
Just
yeah.
People living around the place.
Aye,
Right,
yeah.
right.
They have to control it just, or
Yeah.
else everybody be.
What seconds me is these tracks, like, especially like the Bishop's Court in Kyrgyzstan, Nuts Corner, Akadui, they've been there. Most of them have been there before
Donkeys.
them bloody houses were.
Yeah.
If you wanted a peaceful life, would you move beside a racetrack, a different track, a motocross track?
Well, yeah, it's about like complaining about the airport noise or something. If
Yeah.
you buy a house under the
And there is
Like
people that do
half,
that too. Like,
yeah, people do that.
like a bloody
can't
planes
please
and
people, like-
fucking-
Old people just need something to complain about
That's
because
the
there's
vibe,
not
yeah.
a whole lot going on.
It's
So
it seconds me. But anyway, sorry, I'll end up getting angry. But
Don't we do that?
Like, all these different rules.
Having a
and-
chat about bikes.
how many
Noisy
how
bikes.
many seasons did you do of like the World Championship? Just the once?
So-
Did you done the Worlds or?
that was us just getting warmed up then to go flat out in 2019. We got a new bike in 2019, and the so that we had full plan,
Yeah.
scheduled everything out to do full season 2019, and very first race was at Lommel,
Mhm.
and I remember going off to the start, and we came together with, it was actually a girl that was racing the World Championship,
Yeah.
and we came together with her, and she didn't let off, and I thought she would have let off. And I held her flat the whole way to the corner, and like
And she just held her
she
at
held
it.
her at it, and I thought she would have backed out. And fair
Brilliant.
play to her, she didn't, and I ended up completely head over.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable!
Flip's
And
sake.
Steve got knocked out.
And she just waved at you.
Oh,
Like,
she was away on. She didn't mind.
Steve got knocked out.
Steve got knocked out. He was down in the middle of the track, completely stargazed,
Jeez.
and he had actually hurt. He had hurt something in his like upper back,
Mhm.
and the week after that. So we didn't get any points or nothing that weekend. We couldn't even ride again, and went to Spain the week after. Drove the whole way to Spain,
Flip's sake.
and went to Talavera. And first race, Steve was really struggling. Was Joe with the injury,
Mhm.
and I think we got like 15th or something. And the second race, he couldn't do it, and I was like, Joe, it's gotten Joe going
Yeah,
the whole way there to sort of do it. But at the end of the day, Joe. You have to do what's safe,
Yeah.
and him not being right at that level is not safe. Like,
Yeah.
so so we drove straight back up to the next round. It was 4 weeks in a trot. It was Netherlands after that.
Right? And you just drive?
I
track to track?
driving from Belgium to Spain, from Spain to.
Brilliant.
But like that's where Kenny and Richard and stuff all come in.
Yeah.
Fair play to them. They do a lot of the driving, so they do.
Mm-hmm.
I do very little of it actually. Usually, I try to fly in, as well,
Yeah.
just because of work and stuff as well. Like,
Yeah.
Superstar.
super working
Fly
right
in,
up.
Sit in your bike and away you go.
That's it. Sitting ready for me.
Brilliant.
But no, drove back up the Netherlands, and I got another English passenger to jump on with me,
Right.
and he was only come back from a broken leg.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, it's wild. So, yeah, me and Zach went out, and we done all right. We qualified, but we crashed, and I'm pretty sure we crashed in the pre-qualifying.
Mhm.
And I cracked my collarbone. So I
There's
had
nothing
and-
as sore as a collarbone break.
shocking.
Fuck.
And I still qualified, but it was on Easter weekend, so
Mhm.
there was no racing on the Sunday. It was on the Monday, so it was qualifying Saturday, Sunday free,
Yeah.
Monday. So on the Sunday, we managed to get the hold of some fella. I remember his name too, Bart Damon. We went to him in the Netherlands, and have you ever heard of bone welding?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got my collarbone welded as such.
Well, wait, how did they do that?
I don't
I've
know,
never
like
heard of that.
laser-
just get a stick
They
of bone and
Cut you open to do this, obviously. Like,
They're TIG welding.
start well. Spot welds.
No, they don't even cut you open. It's like all laser stuff.
through like
Through the skin.
Just through the
Right,
skin. Aye, and
right, okay. No, I
So,
never heard of
That's
that.
a relatively new.
I
thing,
think
isn't
it is. I actually got my scaphoid done as well.
Yeah.
That way. Yeah.
I think
And
Mike,
what is that? Just speeds the healing up then, does it?
I
Aye?
think so.
Mike Brown got it done, I think. I was talking to John Burrows. He was saying that Mike went over. Remember, he done both the ankles at Cookstown before the TT.
It's got them welded back on, like.
Got his ankles welded back on. He
Got
walks a wee
welded
bit.
Not bad.
He walks funny now, like, but he's
a
he can
duck.
still ride a bike now.
Oh my goodness. Well, I got the collarbone welded and went back to racing on the Monday, and because he had only just come back from the broken leg with a case this big tabletop,
Yeah.
he hurt his leg.
Oh.
That was it. Didn't even get racing, so I didn't. So that's just sidecars though for you, Joe. That's
Mhm. And there's not an awful lot of suspension in the sidecar, is there, really?
nothing. No, you aren't getting much more than a normal motocross. You actually probably get a wee bit less.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would actually. Yeah,
And he's landing.
he landed heavy on that leg, and we didn't even get racing.
I'm
so
picturing it
so-
didn't fold, did it? I'm
No,
picturing it folding.
Don't
Oh,
think
up
it
the
got
wrong
folded.
way, like, yeah. That's the worst.
So I just think the worst things.
Unreal. But yeah, so that was a really rocky start to our season there in 2019, and then I think I can't remember. Nearly need the calendar in front of me, but we maybe missed a round or two,
Mhm.
and then tried to race in France, and again, our pace was actually really good in France. We got a really good start. We're
Yeah.
I think we're in 8th or something, and I remember Stone hitting the kill switch. So we have a kill switch in the bag,
Yeah.
and it's connected to my wrist.
Yeah.
Stone hit it, come out, and then that set us fairly back, and then see where we were buried in the pack. Like, it's so hard, and I remember making a few mistakes. You were just pushing pretty hard and hitting banks and stuff like that. And I think I jarred Steve, so I did, and his back had give way again, and
Flip's sake. Another passenger down.
that was it. And we were actually supposed to be heading to, I'm pretty sure it was Latvia or Estonia.
Yeah.
After that, we were going to drive the whole way,
Yeah.
and Steve got hurt there, so we needed to make a decision there and then. Like,
Because you weren't going to drive the
No.
whole way there with Steve flipping
yeah, so
twisted.
per Steve, man's wrecked because of me. Like, and we ended up, we didn't go, we just headed home.
Yeah.
So I did, and then I basically had a chat with Steve, and he needed a better rest, So we ended up, we got an Australian passenger.
Flip's sake.
Yeah.
You're
Brian
just going
Anthony.
around the molly.
Yeah,
Wee
went to our-
passenger slut.
Other side of the world to get a
Yeah.
passenger. So we did.
Flip's
So
sake.
Brian Anthony, he had actually just sold his house, everything, to come over and live the World Championship sidecar dream.
Right?
Honestly, and he flew over like the race with this German fella, and he ended up getting injured, and he ended up on with a Swiss fella there for a few races, but he was sketchy, like,
Yeah.
and his cousin got back on, so ended up Brian was available, and I just sort of seen the opportunity, and we ended up riding together, and we see.
You're next.
Yeah, literally. Thankfully, me and Brian got on really well.
Uh-huh.
Joey's a great lad. Like, I've never seen anybody as dedicated to the sport. Like, his family actually flew out then. To his wife and 2 young kids, and they flew out, and we had the best of time there, finishing 2019 season together.
Yeah.
We finished. Where did we finish? 21st in the world.
Okay.
So it did. Just still scoring points and stuff throughout the rest of that year, and I think we'd one top 10 finish in France near the end of the year. So it did, which was really good. Like, but yeah, that was 2019. So that was my full season. I can't even remember how many rounds we ended up going to, but
How many people would be on the grid then for a race?
so whenever I first started the World Championship, there was like 56 entered.
Yeah.
And only 30 qualify.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And
You can go and then just get sent home. Like.
Yeah.
So it was pretty tough to get qualifying. Then sometimes the numbers vary between which country you're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not everybody would travel to them all. Like, but yeah.
What is it, 12? Is it like 12 rounds then? Or
Usually like 12 to 16 rounds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there is. So yeah.
Busy enough all year. Like, I
that's a
don't.
lot
I
of
wouldn't
traveling,
mind.
like.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the traveling, but I love driving and just going somewhere and
Found a new driver for when we're going
Yeah.
to the World season again.
that'll do all right. That'll do as long as you put
Touring
enough
the world.
Give me enough to put food in the table.
That's
That'll
it.
be grand.
Get yourself a pair of earplugs.
I'm no
through that,
volunteer.
Ah.
Like. Just don't be ragging me or kicking me off the side.
No, I'll not be strapping you on.
That's right. I'll fold in two. Might be all right. I wouldn't hurt
Wouldn't
my
do.
back as much.
No,
What
certainly
about,
keep,
Much steel working with.
certainly keep the chair wheel down. And all that.
What about during COVID? Did you get a season at all during that, or?
Yeah, so COVID, I'd signed up then with my new passenger was Lewis Gray, and with full plans, got a new bike and all the race, and we actually done a pre-season in Holland, and it turned out it was just as wet as home.
Yeah.
And we were flying over to Holland at the weekends and trying to get riding, and it was an absolute nightmare.
Just
Like,
waste of time.
you know what's bad? Remember, there's sand tracks in Holland all shut.
Yeah.
It
was-
just flooded.
It was shocking. So it was. I should have went to Spain. Never did go to Spain for a pre-season.
No.
Always wanted to, but never did. Yeah. So we got geared up to do another season, and the calendar kept getting chopped because of COVID.
Mm.
And it ended up there. I think that year there was only 4 rounds of World Championship, but the first one was in Czech Republic, and me and Richard set off. We set off in the Stena Line boat over to England, left Lewis, and as soon as we landed in Scotland, I got a text message from Lewis that he got COVID.
No.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Oh,
believe it.
sick.
And also about to head to Czech Republic, so we're all gutted. Like,
Do you think he just heard stories about you and went, "Fuck this, I'm not going"?
no. Louis was ready to go. Like, so you know,
you'd be raging,
Oh.
wouldn't you? Too, if you'd everything ready to go. And
couldn't
then,
believe it. Like, we had stripped the spur bike and all, and got the whole spur engines and packed the van out and all, and so got ready to go. But it's one of those things, and then we literally landed in Scotland and just turned straight back around,
yeah,
straight back onto the boat and home.
flip sick.
Couldn't believe it. Like, so that was 2020, not off to a great start.
Could you not have went there and chose some randomer just to come passenger for you, or do they not have spare passengers?
The problem
It's
is,
like
so
if one breaks down. I'll take you.
biggest problem is left and right sidecars.
Yeah.
The majority of Europeans are on a right sidecar. We're on our left. Switzerland.
Wait, is that just like the side of the road? You?
Well, I think so. Because in Australia they're left sidecars as well.
Yeah.
But then Switzerland they're left sidecars, majority of them, but they're on the right side, other side of the road. Like, but
That's weird.
it is.
Yeah,
And
you'd never think of that. Like,
No.
it,
'Cause I
it
was-
makes really good racing.
Yeah.
So it
At
does.
Temple, I was talking to Kenny, and what was it? It was mainly left hand round Temple, wasn't it? So that would have suited a right hand sidecar. Or am I wrong? Was it the other way around?
Sort of depends on off cameras and stuff as well. Like,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I think it did suit the right hand sidecars a bit more
Yeah.
than the left. Like,
I was hearing this a lot, and I'm like, why don't they just have one side to sidecar? And
makes it more interesting, doesn't it?
it does really, doesn't it?
Oh,
Like,
it's good
but
racing.
see, it's the same with the road racing. Years ago, they used to have different sides and all
Yeah.
that. Now everyone's on the right hand side. You know,
Yes.
So, well, saying that, I don't know if it's the same for different countries. If it's,
aye,
that'd
so
be interesting to have a
aye,
look
so
up
if you've
at.
the passenger on the left, what's the advantage there? If you're cornering to the left, is that easier that way then, or what way does it work?
Depends. It just depends on the corner, really.
Yeah.
Like, so it can be vice versa, but there's a lot of passing in the corners because of the differences.
Mhm.
Right.
Whereas if we're racing British Championship, they're all left, and
Mhm.
it can be hard to pass at
Yeah.
times. Like,
Yeah.
whereas the World Championship's class, like,
Uh-huh.
give the passengers a wee rub on the way past. And all.
This.
Yeah, well, I suppose the space to overtake then is on different sides, so
Yeah.
depending on where the
It's the lift as well. You know, if you're going around a left-hander and your car is on the left, the sidecar's on the left, your passenger hangs out. You see, to keep it down.
Yeah.
So you're better off with it on the right-hand side because it drags you around. Isn't that it? That's it.
I
Is it
don't know,
not,
like-
or is it? Am I being fucking stupid here?
It depends. It honestly it depends.
Yeah.
Like, I've passed many right hand side cars around a left hander with us
Yeah.
blasting out round the outside of them. You know, they're
Yeah.
in tight the inside.
Yeah.
And you go out round them, but then you can do the same the other way about too. Like,
Mhm.
so it just depends really.
It depends on the weight of your passenger too.
Aye, how hard you can come into the corner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lewis is good weight, like
Yeah.
firing with a Lewis on, like.
I suppose you driving, it's not. I'm not taking anything away from you here, like, but it's not as physical, is it, as a
No.
passenger?
Passing is so physical.
Mm-hmm.
It literally pulls the arms clean out of you.
Yeah,
And like, see them top level passengers, like every one of them, like you can't do nothing but respect them,
Yeah.
for what they do. Like,
but you're hanging off as well. No, you're doing a wee bit, like just
just a
this,
wee, I'm doing
and
just a wee bit, like,
wee bit of clutch. Here
I
and there,
like clutch and brake here and there, like all gear change.
Yeah.
Would the passengers of like, say like the top 5 guys or whatever in the world championship, are they usually smaller guys, or is it just kind of a mix? Like,
They're actually quite small.
Yeah.
Although the world champion this year, he was quite a tall passenger, so he was.
Right.
But a lot of time they would be a wee bit smaller, a wee bit more nimble and sure, like.
yeah,
Like jockeys, sort of.
Aye. But yeah.
it is interesting, like,
Yeah,
because
it
it
is, yeah.
is so different. Like,
I'm
it's
trying
a
to-
real different dynamic having somebody else.
Yeah, I've been trying to get my head around the whole thing, from I first seen one
Aye,
in
from
Evans.
first
That wasn't even that long ago, like, and then going to World Championships, and it's absolutely something else.
Yeah.
See that up in Temple. That was my first ever World Champion. Well, not the MotoGP, but this my second ever World Championship
Yes.
at the first Sidecar Cross, and I blew my mind. Like, all I seen was trees and this wee lane going up, and I was like, "Where the fuck? Where is everyone?" And then in behind the trees was like all these 40-foot trucks and
Yeah,
massive motorhomes with the sides come out of them and all. And then further on up, there was another paddock. There was a paddock on the right hand side, and it was just 100. Like, there was millions there, millions of pounds worth. I'm not joking.
I thought you were gonna say millions of people there. I was like, I fucking bet you there wasn't.
I know there was. I don't know.
That's what I thought he was gonna say.
There was millions of people.
He's blowing this whole thing out of proportion here.
Yeah.
Come and visit the next one.
He's
Visit Northern Ireland.
getting paid in commission here.
Fuck, I wish. But there was millions of pounds worth. Like,
Yeah.
like how much is one of them sidecars
You're talking
averaging?
around 10,000 for rolling chassis. So you've
Just
no
the
engine.
chassis.
Yeah, you've no engine there. Like, you know,
10 grand
yeah.
for a bit of scaffolding.
And then I literally a bit of scaffolding tube welded up and dipped in chrome.
Flip's sake.
And that's because you have to get it from that specialist
Yeah.
place in Holland, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then
They're
your engine on
aluminium.
top of that. And then what's that, sorry?
They're aluminium.
No, all
obviously.
steel. It's all
Oh,
steel.
is it steel?
Aye, all steel tubing.
Right.
So it
Flip's
is.
sake.
And then your engine on top of that, and the engines are all like big bore single cylinder engines, so
Mhm.
they're quite expensive too. Like,
Are they sealed?
no,
You're allowed to tune them and
you can
do
tune
what, do
you can
what you
tune
want.
them to a certain extent. The 702 strokes you can tune up to 750,
Right.
but that's your limit.
Yeah.
And I don't even think anybody could tune it any more than that for a single cylinder.
wouldn't
like,
want to,
ah,
so you
you
like-
wreck it.
Flip's sake.
And then you're allowed 1,000cc 4-stroke, but then again, it would be far too heavy to be
Yeah,
anything over
yeah.
that. So they
Yeah.
don't. That sort of side of things, I don't think there's ever really an issue. Like,
Do they have to be single?
I think so. I
Yeah.
don't see any other.
You just drop an R1 engine into their foot.
Yeah.
In the World
220 brake.
Championship, yeah, but I'd say you get away with anywhere national championships.
Aye.
Like Hugh Evans used to have a 4-stroke, 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like actually a Gixxer or something
No
like that.
way.
Ah, it was mad. Like,
Oh.
that was mad.
That's
no
what I
real-
would do, like, and just put a big fern on it so
Yeah.
no one can see the engine. Up over the tabletop.
Too heavy though.
You'd fairly rack some passengers
Oh,
in,
you'll
wouldn't
be,
you?
you'll be in a heap. You'll be in
Oh.
an absolute heap.
Brilliant.
Much would it be then for, like, say you'd whatever unlimited money to get a bike, and you wanted to get like the top spec bike, same as the world champion or whatever?
Yeah, like a
like
factory.
how high do they run up?
Yeah, like a factory machine.
You're probably just talking over 20 grand.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
get super
It doesn't
crazy.
get,
like,
it doesn't
that's
get
not
super
bad.
crazy
Yeah.
because there's only so much you can do.
yeah, yeah,
Unless there's more than I know. There probably is actually.
Yeah.
yeah. Aye, so it's more like on the tuning side and
Yeah.
everything then.
Because
yeah.
there's no electronics or anything really, sure. There's not
Just it's probably simple compared to road racing terms. Like,
launch. I know there's motocross.
you
bikes
don't have
with
launch
control and
Don't
stuff.
really have launch control. Maybe some of them. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
really know for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, well, that's a good thing. Like, it makes it more accessible, you know.
Yeah,
it's
that's
more
So there's
the
not
ride.
somebody that's ahead of you just because you can't afford,
I don't know.
you know,
Yeah.
because that's the worst in any sport, I think. Like, it's
Yeah.
just
It
people.
divides it.
Yeah.
It's a skill. It's the
Yeah.
right
Well, you
hand
can
that's
have
doing
somebody
and
that's
the
a
passenger.
better rider, but just because they don't have the money, they're not
I
going to
know, I
win.
know,
You know,
I
I think
know.
that's just shit. Like, but
Yeah, especially when you're looking after your own machines as well, and then you've big teams coming. Like there
Yeah.
is works teams. I take it like Husqvarna and all, and
They're
Honda
actually
over.
not that works.
Uh-huh.
I think they get a bit of support.
Aye.
Like Sabax there was getting a bit of support from Husky and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But as far as like factory teams, it doesn't really exist.
doesn't
you
really
know?
stretch as
No.
much as that.
No, not really. No,
Yeah.
it's more all just ordinary people. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think the top ones maybe pay their passengers.
Yeah.
So they, because a passenger on its own doing a full world season, like it's a full time job. Like
They do
Yeah.
most of the work.
I literally,
yeah.
That's sick.
literally like.
Or nearly all the rounds in Europe then? Like, is there any in Asia or anything like that?
They're mostly in Europe. They went to Ukraine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Haven't been to Ukraine in a wee while, like, but the yes, it's mostly. I think where else did they go? Can't remember, but
You just follow the truck in front of you.
Estonia and Latvia and all as
That's
well.
about
Like,
the
so-
would that be the furthest you've went? Like, yeah.
I didn't actually get going to
Oh,
Estonia,
right,
so I
yeah,
didn't know in time. With big plans, never
Big plan.
materialised.
As did I.
But yeah.
You plenty of hire car stories then, have you?
Oh, aye, hire cars, running them in.
Breaking them in.
Oh, aye.
What's your best hire car story? Come on,
No.
go on.
I don't even have that good a one. Like, it's
No.
just like brand new cars and just revving the bag out of them.
They're
Like,
they are the fastest cars on the planet, like, aren't they?
I know some
hire
boys
cars.
could have a good story, like in
Uh-huh.
Italy. I remember they had a Fiat Panda and they're pulling her box off this thing and everything. Like,
Is that it?
oh, aye, making her loud.
I've seen
Not ways, like,
like
not
they're
ways.
like they're out for a Thursday night cruise or something.
Oh, aye. Hallions.
Brilliant.
Absolute Hallions from Northern Ireland.
You ever get fed up traveling or?
The traveling's tricky enough. Like, that's why I'm sort of in the position at the minute where until I'm really ready to go again, I don't think I'll bother, doing it much of the traveling.
Yeah, yeah.
Just that's that expensive and it takes so much time, and,
Mhm.
and the prep work too, like goes behind the scenes is mad. Like to get geared up to head away,
Much would around cost, traveling, accommodation, everything.
The British rounds cost like over £1,000, and see the world ones would never count them.
No,
You wouldn't want to.
no. Yeah, you wouldn't do it.
You
then.
wouldn't. You wouldn't do it.
No,
You
That's-
would not
that's-
do it.
even the British round, that's a lot cheaper. Like that's going to England, not just Desert Martin. Like,
No, I was heading to England. Like,
yeah, that's all right. That's not too bad. Like.
yeah.
If we went to England, even for a club meeting,
Yeah.
like before you even sit in the bike, 1,500 quid
Yeah.
easily.
What are the bikes like? What's it like price wise for like parts and all? Is it all right? Like to keep the bike running? It's not too bad, is it?
It's not too bad. Like we're running all Husky KTM parts,
Yeah.
so it's handy enough to get the parts for
Yeah.
them. Like, so that way, some of the specialist parts you just get them at the Grand Prix. So the manufacturers come to the tracks, like.
Mm-hmm. The cost is building the engines, really, isn't it? Like rebuilds.
Yeah, like the engine, the actual big bore kits and stuff like that, and pistons and all are quite expensive.
Yeah.
You're sort of in the money whenever you're starting to rebuild big 4-strokes. Like,
I know.
even the big 2-strokes, they're a fortune as well to start rebuilding.
Yeah, but they're far easier. Like a 2-stroke blows up, you can rebuild the whole engine in
Aye.
half an hour in the
That's
in the field.
yeah.
A
Or
4-stroke blows up, you have to replace it or.
you're in a pile of work. Like, we have one there sitting at the minute with a set of crack casings on her.
Oh, nice. Did she twist herself or?
Don't know. I haven't got speaking to Richard properly about it. It lay
Mhm.
on the bench. Like, see, after I got hurt, I literally didn't even go in through the garage door for so long.
Yeah,
Just
just lost interest.
I
sort of thing,
couldn't
like.
face it.
Yeah.
Just I blanked myself out of it, Joe. I
Mhm.
didn't even really follow much.
Because it's just depressing. Like
Aye,
whenever you
like,
can't do it.
I
you
wasn't
know?
in a great place for a wee while.
Yeah.
You're sort of in your own head, and
Yeah.
just sort of avoided the whole just everything to do. I didn't even go watch the local races or nothing.
No.
So I was sort of in my own wee bubble. Just with work was quite busy, and
Yeah.
I just had the head down, really, just
Aye.
focusing on work and trying to make myself better. And
You
Yeah.
did. You went off the radar there. Like, I haven't
Aye.
seen you from. Would have been. Was it Temple or the show? What was first? Temple. And
The
before that, I hadn't seen you from the bike
from the
show.
show. Aye,
January,
literally, yeah.
And then the beginning of the week, I see you at the shop.
Aye, it
and-
was random, wasn't it?
Aye, it
After
was.
us
Like,
speaking.
I know. Just
Oh, it was random.
talking about meeting up for the podcast and stuff, and then 2 days later, there he is at the shop. I hadn't seen him in 6 months.
Aye, no, I haven't been about. Like,
No.
I've had the head down, just trying to rehab. Joe,
Yeah. Like,
get
this
back.
was
Just trying
when
to
did
get
I
back
see
to it.
you? 11 o'clock or something. It was
Sunday morning
Sunday morning.
was.
And I was like, oh, we're just back from Bangor. We were sea dipping in Bangor. We were
Aye,
there. We were in the
Bangor in the
sea for
morning.
8 o'clock. It's like, are you nuts? Because I says, oh, you are looking all swanky. Of course, they were in church then before. And
Right.
I was like,
We had the full Sunday morning done.
I had the full Sunday.
Gareth only rolled out of bed,
Yeah.
I know.
Out for a sausage roll, probably.
Literally me. Yeah, out for
half hanging.
out for breakfast, hanging out of my arse, like, and and then I see these two, and well, I know,
Have to make
I
the
know what
Sundays
boy,
count. Have to
Yeah.
make the Sundays
I know.
count. It's
You
only to
actually-
egg it off, so
You did make me think, like, you
aye,
did make
absolutely,
me think.
mate. You come with us the next time
Like,
to see, like,
you and the missus, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and
ready to go.
ready to go, and I'm still trying to make my way out of the bloody car to get into the shop, get my sausage roll.
Unreal.
You did, like, your body's your temple, really.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's it. Like, everything happens for a reason too. Like, Joe, even Joe, it wasn't a great situation, Joe, the way everything went, and
Mhm.
especially that Temple race. That was
You-
that was a really tough pill
Yeah.
to swallow. The
Yeah.
fact that I wasn't riding that, Joe. Like, I've waited.
Yeah, you could see the pain in your
I
face.
wasn't in a good space there.
See,
like, and
Like, you could see him standing, and you weren't.
it was killing me.
And then next
Yeah.
thing, they called him up on the stage for an interview, and I was like, oh, this is not a good time to be doing this.
You
know?
didn't want to do it,
was
did you?
killing me. Like, it was
Yeah.
absolutely killing me. And at the end of the day, I was there to support everybody who
Yeah.
put all the hard work in.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Gardner and all the ones in North Armour Club. They put so much work in, and
Yeah.
and I felt like I'd let everybody down. As well. You just have that feeling.
Yeah.
But
But you didn't, of course.
it's just one of those things. And just that's motorsport for you.
Yeah. Even that stage, you could hardly bloody walk.
I wasn't in a good way that
No.
week, and after that, there I actually took a bit of a turn down the way, and at that stage, I hadn't really pushed for the whole I need to fix myself.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going to fix me, but I just assumed that I think I was I'd nearly given up and sort of said, well, I'm just going to have an operation on my back and get this sorted. But
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you ever think about surgery and just getting it?
that's what I think that's why I'd sort of half give up. And then the more I spoke to different people, and it's really hard to know because everybody's different and everybody's situation's different. And the more I thought about it, I was like, I'd be better giving myself just try and see if you can sort yourself out.
Yeah.
And I think that it's taught me a life lesson as well, and if you don't try, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did try because I'm currently in a great position from just trying, and that's how you know where it's gonna be a success or failure.
And you know yourself, because you said out there, like, you wish you were in this shape when you were racing full time.
That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in great shape at the minute. So whenever that all happened after July, I literally went and got a wee sauna, got a freezer, converted it to an ice bath.
Yeah.
Got into that thing every day, into the sauna for like an hour a week. Into the gym flat out, just trying to rehab and get my back stronger. And
Yep.
I feel like I'm in a great position here at the minute, and
Mhm.
I'm really excited. I'm planning on riding here soon, just to see. Like, I haven't rode from last April,
Right.
so I'm excited to see what way I am whenever I get on
Yeah.
that bike,
Yeah.
just to see, like, because that's what I'm working towards, and it's taught me a lot of things as well in life, just to just put the work in,
Yeah.
you get out what you put in,
Yeah.
and if you sort of drag your heels,
You're not going to get anywhere.
you're not getting nowhere.
Yeah. I think you'll surprise yourself, because obviously after, an injury, a bad injury, or I was the same, and something that Jamie Whittam said, and this has stuck with me for years. He had cancer and he chemo, and I think his first race back. This is Superbikes. First race back, Donington Park, and he just wanted to go off, and he was thinking he nearly wanted to deliberately crash
Oh my goodness.
to make sure he wasn't going to break.
Yeah.
And he did actually fall off. He fell off, I think, coming on the start and finish. High side, landed on his back. Like him not riding for so long and getting chemo, the body's weak, whatever.
Yeah.
And he landed and just stood up. And he said it was like a huge weight off his chest.
Aye, the fear of it gone.
It all went. And he
Yeah.
realised then he wasn't made of glass.
Yeah.
But he was running up the top straight away.
Unreal.
And
He gave
he
himself that confidence.
yeah, and that was the confidence. And then boom, went out and started winning again.
Absolutely
You know?
brilliant.
So I think that has stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
especially someone who doesn't like sitting on a bike too often and would rather hanging out of a hedge. Like, but no,
Literally,
that stuck with me, and I think you will surprise yourself. Like,
Yeah, hopefully.
are you going like round the field first, or riding into the side of houses? Or
It's-
are you
it's
going
really hard.
Desert Martin.
It's really hard to actually get out in a sidecar over here.
I know. Yeah.
Um,
You never see them really.
No, like it's really, really hard to get out. The fields are soaking too at the moment. But yeah, hopefully go up to Moormeal. That's about the only place we can get out practicing.
Mhm.
So it is. So we'll give it a go and see
See what the crack is.
what
and
the crack is.
hopefully next year.
Yeah, like I'm planning sort of a handier year. This year just doing local races,
Mhm.
seeing how I feel, just going from there, try some British rounds if I feel up to it. You just play it by ear really and just see where it takes us.
See where it takes you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to plan too much because I've absolutely no idea what way we're going for a ride. So we'll just have to go from there. And see how we go.
Play it by ear and wang it.
Aye, that's it. But I've overcome injuries before. Even back in 2021, me and Lewis were getting actually another brand new bike, and we're getting ready for another big year of World Championship.
Yeah.
All the rest of it British.
Yeah.
And it was about a month. Not even a month. It was in April. Like we had went out and. It was the first day on the new bike, and we run it in on the Saturday, and then we went to this track. There was a practice day on, and all the rest of the sidecars was there on the Sunday, and we were following the British champion around the track, and a big boulder come off his back wheel and clipped me right here below my knee, and it fractured my leg.
What?
Yeah,
Jeez.
literally, I couldn't believe it.
Like your shin bone, like.
literally, yeah.
Ooh.
I had a spar fracture in my tibia.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
And yeah, like couldn't believe it. My leg was swole out.
Yeah.
I remember sending a photo to my trainer and being like, "Yeah, I have this bruise in my leg." And he's like,
Aye.
like I was kicking myself, like, and I thought that it was just bruised.
Oh,
and he was like, "Mate, you need to get this thing checked out."
Shit.
And turned out it was fractured, and I ended up like, in a cast. Thankfully, I didn't need operated on, which was good, but I ended up in cast for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And like that gives you a lot of time to think about things. Like,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
I wasn't finished.
Yeah.
I wasn't finished, and I wanted straight back to it. Like, and I had the cast off. I think the first, like, sort of in around the start of July,
Uh-huh.
and by the day fortnight I was racing.
Flip's sake.
I couldn't even get my boot on. I had to get a different boot and all. My foot was, my leg
It
was
was
still
still
swollen. And I put this boot on, and I tried, again, it's sidecars for you. You have a
Yeah.
teammate there, and you want to get
Yeah.
out again. Just
Yeah.
like he's been sitting twiddling his thumbs for 3 months.
Flip's sake.
It's not really fair, like. And
Aye.
so the second I was ready to go, I was going, like.
Yeah.
And we raced then.
Shin pads on.
Literally, yeah, like we raced. That's actually what caused it. I usually wore knee braces, and the knee braces were getting really uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And I put on a pair of shin pads, and it just wasn't protecting the same as what a brace would have been.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. It was like
It
football.
wasn't enough.
shin
Yeah, like
pads on.
well, they're motocross knee pads, like,
Aye.
but they just weren't. They weren't good enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And I shouldn't, like, literally, like, I only rode like 3 times without my braces, and that was one of them.
That was one of them. Flip's
Never
sake.
again. Never again. And
You wrap yourself up in bubble wrap.
Oh,
next time you go.
shut
And
up.
your passenger.
shocking. But yeah, we ended up started racing again, and started actually I actually got back into it really well, and we're starting to get competitive again. So near enough straight off the bat, I kept training really hard in the gym with this cast on, like, and didn't stop the whole time. Had to keep the head up, and I was quite proud of myself that way. I didn't let it beat me that way, and we got back to it. And in September, I might have been the last round of the British, or maybe the penultimate, I don't know. But yeah, got a good start, and I think we're in fourth, and fell in third. I don't know what happened to him, but the passenger rolled out. Apparently we hit him, but we're absolutely nowhere near him. And I know for a fact we didn't. Like, the two of us didn't touch him. Like, but he fell out of the chair on the first lap, and the rider, like, he was riding up the track with no passenger.
Flip's sake.
And next thing, the chair wheel lifted, and he just turned right, and straight into our path away. Like, and I completely nailed him. He broke his tib and fib, and I landed right in my bad leg, and I fractured a different part of my tibia.
What?
Yeah.
So the bit that was healing was okay?
It was fine. Fractured another part of it.
Oh.
Couldn't believe it.
What sort of luck is
I
that?
literally couldn't believe it. And that time, that hit me hard. I wasn't straight back to the gym after that one. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Fuck's sake.
So I couldn't. It was rough going. So then that left my healing then. Into the 2022 season then. We planned a handy year then.
Yeah.
I was getting married.
Yeah.
So we got married and stuff, and me and Lewis had actually a brilliant year that year. We raced the British Championship and we got third in the British. We were real happy with that. But actually in 2018 I was second in the British. I never mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
2017 we're third, 2018 we're second. So we're getting up the top end of the British, So 2019 was a difficult one to swallow, and then COVID all hit, and I knew I really was pushing for that British Championship.
Yeah.
And so me and Lewis got third in the championship that year, and we'd only done one world round, and we got top 10 overall.
Right.
So we're real happy with that there. Like, and then that's when we came into last year, 23, ready to go swinging. Didn't happen.
Issues and flip's sake, getting old.
Aye, that's it. But that's how it goes, and just had to keep the head up and keep going, and
keep pushing on.
Everything happens for a reason, and
exactly.
I've learned loads, and learned loads about myself and my body, and
strong-minded.
That's exactly it. You have to work on it and just keep going.
Brilliant. Happy days. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out next year.
Appreciate it.
Well, no, this year.
I keep
saying next year. By the way, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We forgot about that. This was we've been lazy.
This
is
the first one.
This is the first one.
First one back. Yeah.
Slow getting going in January.
It has been. Yeah.
Unreal. Just working to work and trying to get the
exactly
coin back.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. So now, was first round this season. When's that?
We'll probably race the March here. It's in March. Funny enough.
Brilliant.
And then the Ulster and Irish Championship starts in April.
Fantastic.
So we'll just play it a year, go from there, and see what happens.
We'll have to make it down.
That's
we'll
it.
have to get a wee chat with Kenny Gardner. I was actually meant to get a word with him anyway, but
Kenny's the main man.
He's a busy man, isn't he?
Some goer.
Unreal.
Mr. Sidecar Cross.
Yeah.
He's done so much for me over the years. Like,
yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I couldn't have done it with him.
Like, he's some pup. Fantastic. But listen, not keep you any longer, and thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
All the best for this season.
Thank you. Appreciate
and
it.
Hopefully, we'll definitely know we are. We're going to get the one leash. Just will blow your mind.
I want to say it like.
Yep, you have to. Okay, again, everyone, thanks very much for watching, and please hit that like button and subscribe, and tell all your mates, and we'll see you for episode 6.